Okay, so we've been playing with this concept of sending traffic to our application with Apache Bench. We have accomplished a lot with that. We have been able to send 3.82 thousand requests per minute. That, as we calculated, was more than 60 requests per second. But what if you want to send more than that? And you can do a lot with this Apache Bench, as I said, but sometimes you want more. You want 50,000 requests or anything like that. So there are add-ons on Heroku that help you do that. Let's go to the Heroku add-on catalog. And if I search for load, you can see that here we have a lot of things that work for that. Loader IO, Blitz. Let's check Blitz. This is the one I have used in the past. So Blitz allows you to, under free tier, send 250 concurrent users to your application. That is going to send some level of traffic that you can test, and you can test for 60 seconds. But you can send up to 5,000 concurrent users on their plans. This is pretty expensive, but again, it's based on pro rata charging. So you can turn Blitz on for a few minutes, run the tests, and then turn it off and just pay for the time you used. So let's give Blitz a try on the free level. Okay, so Heroku add-on Blitz. Good, it's provisioned. Now let's check on our resource page. Here it is. Let's open it up. Great. Here we have Blitz and we have our domains already added. Since it works integrated with Heroku as an add-on, it already knows that we're using these domains. So Corp Studios, Corp Ideas, and the direct tscope 80. So we can run a series of tests here. So let's run one that we want to send traffic to. So let's run on play. Let's put a URL. It has to be one of the URLs that you have authorized. And what we're doing is a get to this URL from region, Virginia, and let's test going from 1 user to 250 users for the duration of 1 minute. So that's the capacity this one offers. Doing a test where you go from 1 to 250 users and see how your app responds to that. So let's run this test. Essentially, this connects a lot of servers from all over the world to send traffic to your application, and you get response times. So we're responding under the 100 millisecond range, and the graphic, the graph here on the gray is how many users it's sending. So right now we're sending I think 100 users, then it goes and up 150 users, and you get an idea of, as users grow, how your response times start to degrade or not. Here on the second graph you get how many hits per second you're getting. So we're going right now on the 153 hits per second, 176 hits per second, and the second graph here, the gray, is how many users you have. On the bottom here you can see the errors that you get. We are not getting any errors right now, so our page right now is pretty optimized. We're not getting any problems. You see, we're serving up to 250 users without any issues, and you see that this generated 6,759 hits to the page. We can see a results page where they give you an idea of what this means. This means that the average hit rate was 112 hits per second, which translates to about 9.7 million hits per day. We're doing pretty fine on this application as it seems, and would be interesting to see what happens if we roll back to where we didn't have memcache and run another test with that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go and check Heroku releases. This is when we added the Blitz, and this is where we added memcache. Yeah, we could do it this way, but I'll do a deployment, because if I roll back, I'm gonna lose the configuration for these add-ons. So let's just do a rollback instead. Let's comment this and this. That way we will not be using memcache. We're gonna go back to not having memcache there. So let's git status, add, remove fragment section from cache on index. So I'm just doing this so you can compare and contrast what goes on when we have caching and what goes on when we don't have. And you can see that with Blitz we could get more traffic sent to our application and see how problematic it is if you don't have the application. So you see with Apache Bench we were able to send up to 3.8 kilo requests per minute. So that's like 4,000 requests per minute. But with Blitz, we were able to send 5,000 on their free tier. So just with that, we're getting better results already. And if you go to their paid tiers that allow you to go even further, you can send even more traffic. Right now, we're just sending 250 concurrent users. We can send 5,000 concurrent users on their top tier. So you get the point, you get the idea. We can get more and more traffic through Blitz than what we can get from Apache Bench. So deployment is done. Let me open up also logs just to make sure we have the inefficient page already running again. Let's load this page here. Just by looking at the load time, it looks like we have the inefficient page now. It's not that fast. And yes, it's responding on 2 seconds. So it's not using cache. Okay, so let's test this one again on Blitz. So let's go to Blitz. Let's run the test again. So we're gonna run it here. Let's hit it. Where's the play? Here. So we're doing the test again, but without caching. Let's see what the results we get now. Okay, we're going to one user, 31 users. You see we're getting a lot of timeouts. It's probably just getting timeouts now. It's weird. Yeah, it's just timeouts. Something is off. We're gonna run it again because it shouldn't crash that much. Let's just stop it. See what happens here. We're getting H12 errors. This is request timeout. So it looks like it didn't support our traffic. Somewhere it crashed. You see, we didn't have it optimized for this, so it just crashed. Some requests are getting served, and they're taking what? Let's see this one, 4 seconds. Yeah, so it wasn't an error. It's actually that it can't keep up with this level of traffic. So just wanted to show you what happens when you are not optimized and you try to do a load testing. So that's why the first step is to try to get your app optimized with simple load test with Apache Bench, and then you go and use Blitz, because if not, this is what happens. Your application can't really keep up. One big lesson here is that you shouldn't launch your application to production without doing a basic level of load testing. You can load test it with Apache Bench and make sure with that you can make sure that it's going to respond well. And then you can move and test it in Blitz just to confirm that you're okay. And if you're not okay, you will find out with the reports here. So right now I don't think we can learn anything from this. It's just nothing went through, probably because the app was saturated with it. Let me do Heroku PS. The web is up. I'm gonna restart Heroku restart so we can give another attempt to doing a load test and see exactly where it crashes. Okay, it's up. Logs still working, I think. Yeah, it's getting a lot of timeouts. So if I send more traffic right now, I'm gonna start getting again just problems. Okay, there it is. It's starting to respond to some of the requests. I'm gonna give it a minute and then come back to run the test again. Okay, now it looks like we are okay again. We can load the page and we get it. We get some errors still, but in general the page is responding. So let's give another attempt to running Blitz because I want to see if it can report when it fails. So let's reload this and run the test. Nope, we're getting all timeouts again. So this page just can't hold up to this test without having the optimizations that we had already done. So let's stop this test. Let's go and put these changes again, the optimizations, redeploy it, git status, and commit, we apply caching. Okay, it finished the deployment. Let's check the page here. It should load. Yes, it's loading, and as you can see, it's loading fast. So on the logs, we should see that it's reading the fragments already. Yeah. If I hit load, it reads from the fragment, and the page takes only 4 milliseconds. Great. So we are back on the optimized version of the page. We're still getting some request timeout from old requests that were getting sent on the tests we were doing. So that's there because it generated a big queue. But you see the page is responding. So if we do some load testing right now, we will get the results we got the first time. If you refer back to the history here, you see that the first time we got 0 errors, 0 timeouts, and we were able to, here's the results. Okay, we were able to serve all of these hits without a problem. So that's the value of being optimized. Again, just doing some summary of what we just did. We applied caching on the previous session, and we did some load testing for it using Apache Bench. And on this session, we added a new add-on called Blitz. We found that on the Heroku add-ons catalog. So we're applying Blitz, and with this, we were able to do some load testing that took our database, our load to 5,000 requests per minute. This big queue here is when we did the load testing without caching. When we removed the caching and we tested it, you see that we got request queues of 138,000 milliseconds per request. So that's essentially we crashed. We were not serving any requests. Now when we did the deployment again, it's going back to normal, and now we are serving all of our requests. If I reload the page here, this is getting responded in 75 milliseconds, so that's great. If I do a load testing again, this should perform pretty well, and we should serve up to 6,000 requests per minute on our reporting New Relic. So that's Blitz.io. I haven't used any of the other add-ons, so I welcome you to test them out and share your experience here.